I was in the summer of my life. I woke up from my very patriotic bed, and I walked into the bathroom, and as every time I get a haircut, I trouble myself. I think to myself, God, this looks disgusting. Why did I cut my hair? God, should I shave it off? No, I shouldn't shave it off. I'll just wear a very blue beanie. Like every morning, I began engaging in acts of dental hygiene. So I wanted to make the best of my day, so I went for a little walk. Back then we didn't have jungle gyms. If you sold candy, you got cheap toys. This community garden used to be a parking lot. Well, they changed that too. And past an old elementary school that used to be mine. Oh look, there's a little dog that I painted. I began passing this mural and reminiscing on days where everything was easier. I began walking through an old neighborhood that I grew up in. This old neighborhood had so many things. Back then we didn't have Yummy.com, the new grocery store. Before that, it used to be a video market where people can rent movies. I kept on exploring, and I passed by an old comic book store where my father bought me my first comic. As I walked along the bridge, I passed by my old middle school where I suffered from bullying, and I just kept on thinking, this place sucks. As I kept walking, I watched the palm trees and how beautifully they looked with the blue sky and how the clouds complemented them so well. I then came across a button where you press it and supposedly the light will change, but then as I kept pressing it, nothing happened. I don't even think those are connected to anything. I then passed by McDonald's and got a cup of my favorite tea, and as I kept walking home, I passed by a very familiar place. I often come to this place and clear my head and just look at the trees, and stare into the distance, and just think, and contemplate about life and love, subjects I often trouble myself with. As I trouble myself, I just kept on thinking, wow, so many couples are around, I really need to get a girlfriend. But then I got distracted by this one-man band. Cool. Wow, another couple. All out of tea. Wow, another couple. I really need to settle down. Because sometimes I just often look into the trees in this very misleading bus stop. But then I often think I really need to appreciate art. Wow, look at this garbage can. Very artistic. Never mind. As I walked by, I faced more contemplation. Should I go across the street and sit down and look at the view more? Or should I go home? I decided to go home. As I walked home, I passed by my old elementary school and just thought, wow, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky I got to grow up and look at true beauty and natural beauty. I grew up with fluorescent palm trees that just dazzled the sky. Crosswalk button, we meet again. God, I don't even think these are connected. I think they're just here to deceive us. As I arrived home, I walked into my room and I faced more contemplation. Should I read this book or that book? I'll read this erotic novel, 50 Shades of Grey. As I opened it up, I looked at my super sweet bookmark. As I read enough, I looked into my fridge. More contemplation. Hashtag. As I made myself a nice fruit salad, I paired it up with a nice tea. As I put my dirty dish away, I got distracted. I got distracted by my beautiful view. And then I thought to myself, you know what? You can't make love happen. It happens on its own. You don't try to force it. Because heartbreaks happen. And they're unavoidable. But heartbreaks, they're like lessons. You learn from them. Because even though fruit salads, erotic novels, and sweet tea, and creepily looking at couples in the street won't make anything happen. Sometimes you just gotta let go and just look at the beautiful view, because life is so short. I gotta let go of that thought and thinking that if I don't get into a relationship now, it'll never happen. Still young and I got a life ahead of me. So, like that cup of tea, I gotta just throw that thought away.